Now remember travelling before the internet? All you had was a suitcase, a map, and if you were lucky, a Lonely Planet guidebook. The first one was published 50 years ago by an Australian couple who changed the way we all travel.
Here's a map of the world. Where have you been?
Oh, look, I've been here, I've been here, I've been there, I've been there, I've been all the way around here. I've been there, I've trekked up here.
You've been bitten by the travel bug and there's no antidote for you, is there?
There is not, no. I'm afraid I'm an addict. I've been not quite everywhere, but most of the places up through Central America and into the States.
50 years ago, Tony Wheeler with his wife Maureen had a bright idea: publish a guidebook for travellers. They called it The Lonely Planet.
New York, been there a few times, my most favourite time with my daughter. Japan, waiting for the next trek, but love skiing.
What does The Lonely Planet mean to you?
Well, it's my Bible because it contains all the information I need, from the history to the where to stay, to where to eat, and all the regions. France, I loved walking in Provence. Peru, that was amazing. Machu Picchu and everything around the trek. Africa, well, that was my most challenging trip. Mount Kilimanjaro, it's up there as my top exhausting and challenging trek.
150 million books later, dedicated travellers like Caroline Chesney still find The Lonely Planet an essential guide. The Melbourne lawyer is a trekker, and when you're off the beaten track with no internet, the book is a bonus. How many Lonely Planets have you got here? It's quite the collection.
Oh, I don't know, it looks about 25 or so.
You've actually got 45.
Well, yeah, these are my latest.
I counted them. If the world's our oyster, what's it been for you?
It's been a feast. You know, it's been a non-stop feast, and I'm hoping it continues that way. Touch wood.
Tony and Maureen changed the way we travel.
True.
They inspired a million dreams.
Very true.
They delivered destinations.
You're welcome.
And they made memories once you got there.
That's right.
If you did it rough, if you did it tough, or if you did it in style, chances are you weren't lonely. You had a companion, The Lonely Planet.
I prefer a hard copy. Yes, digital's great, but you know, when you're in a tent high in the Himalayas, the digital doesn't happen. There's no Wi-Fi, so I love a Bible.
Anyway, the book that encouraged us to go one step further is celebrating a major milestone. Happy birthday, Lonely Planet, 50 years old.
50 years young. Thank you.
Happy birthday to Lonely Planet.
Why is it so popular?
Well, it's been around for a long time, but it's a trusted brand, and it's got great writers who really know their stuff, that are producing content that really helps travellers get the best experience they can.
Have you used it?
I have.
Whereabouts?
I've used it in Europe, in America, in Asia, all over the place.
Mark Rubo from Readings Bookstores. Every week, he says, they're still selling hundreds of Lonely Planets. Here's a really good example how The Lonely Planet has progressed over the years. Mark, you got an example?
This is the first Lonely Planet ever published, 1973.
And how many pages on India?
There's 7 pages on India.
7. And here's the new Lonely Planet for India. And there are, what, 1,251
pages. This was $1.80.
Oh, and what's this?
That is only 45.
45?
If you think in 50 years...
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
If the success of The Lonely Planet is extraordinary, so too is the way it all began back in the 70s. Two 20-somethings all but broke and desperate to travel.
72, Maureen and I, living in London, we set out to have a trip around the world. We bought an old car. We thought we'll drive it as far as it goes. It went as far as Afghanistan, and we sold it in Afghanistan for a small profit and carried on, and eventually got to Bali with no money left at all.
The couple hitched a ride on an old boat in Bali.
My first foot in Australia was in Exmouth, WA. Hitchhiked across down to Perth, first of all, crossed the Nullarbor to Sydney, and Maureen and I arrived in Sydney just after Christmas, 72, with 27 cents left. That was it.
27 cents?
Yeah, it wasn't so much even in those days.
Times were tough, but so were they.
The inspiration was our own experience. You know, we were short of information. You didn't know what to do next. You didn't know where to go. You didn't know if there was going to be a bus or a train or a boat or whatever from the next town. So the idea was we would provide the information that we hadn't been able to find. And it proved to be a really good idea.
Do you know it's the Lonely Planet's birthday? It's 50 years old?
No, I didn't, but fantastic. And happy birthday to Lonely Planet. That's fantastic.
Over the road, butcher Leo Donati has used the Lonely Planet in 8 countries. Have you struck any snags?
Not a one. Not one wrong turn, not one problem.
I've done the Trans-Siberian across Russia. I've been to St. Petersburg. I've been to Ukraine.
Except now the couple do it in style. 10 years ago, they sold the Lonely Planet operation to the BBC in London for $100 million. They still travel, they still use their own books, and they still love it. But these days, it's not buses and bicycles, it's business class.
If you're doing it because you love to do it, it'll be fun. You'll enjoy it. And if you make money, that's a bonus. And if you don't, well, at least you've had fun.
I too am a Lonely Planet aficionado. It's propelled me around the world, toughing it out in Tuscany, poncing around Portugal, and if you need a chiropractor in India. Oh! And trust me, you'll never be lonely on this planet once you meet Luca in Siena.
Vámonos, qua! Chilometro zero!
Very happy. If you're starting an adventure, here's Tony's top tips.
The first thing is don't lose your passport, but have enough money. You know, I say just carry a carry-on. The secret to packing is see what you've packed and then take half of it out and then take twice as much money.
Now, Caroline, what are these Lonely Planets here?
Well, these are the New Testament because they provide the inspiration of where we're going to go next. So
What's in there?
We've chosen a ride in here that's in Italy next year. So next September we're going to Lake Como. And then in here, chosen a fantastic walk in Portugal.
Okay, well, thanks, mate. Appreciate that, and happy travels.
Oh, look, you need to travel more and learn how to fold a map, please.
Google Maps.